saw is a difference of squares, right? X plus 2, x minus 2. Most people get that one right. Good job. The denominator, though, a lot of people forget how to handle this. You need to factor out your GCF. The greatest common factor is x. Well, that leaves you with x squared minus 4, doesn't it? In other words, if you factor it one more time, x plus 2, x minus 2 on top, x times x plus 2, x minus 2 on bottom. We have some funky things happening in h of x. Save some room here. Okay, let's see. So I would say that my reduced version, my h of x, if I were to reduce it, like a little star for reduced version, my h of x would be, I have to cancel x plus 2 and x minus 2. So in reality, it's just 1 over x, isn't it? We know what that graph looks like, I hope. 1 over x. Well, that was not a good picture, but something like that. 1 over x. But there are some problems. We already know this is going to give us a vertical asymptote, I hope. What's our vertical asymptote? 0. X equals 0. On your test, by the way, just like with polynomials, if I say what is the equation of the polynomial, you have to write p of x or y equals, or else take off a point. Similarly, for vertical asymptotes and horizontal asymptotes, you have to write x equals or y equals. If you don't, I take off a point. Fair game, okay? All right, let's talk holes. You have 2 of them, don't you? When x equals 2 and negative 2, right? Now, if I just said what are the x locations of the holes, that's it. But if I asked you what are the holes, you could go further, I hope. When x is 2, I could find my y. When x is negative 2, I could find my y. So how would I find those y's? Where would I plug them in? Well, into the reduced version, of course. What happens if x is 2 in the reduced version? 1/2. And what happens if x is negative 2? Yeah, so at those specific places, you would have open circles. So now you can know exactly where those holes are.
On the test, would we be able to just do x is equal to plus or minus 2, or do you want to be separate?
So if I was just saying what are the x values, then yeah, I understand what that means. But if I said what are the holes, I would expect you to give me the holes. Now you could do plus or minus 2, but that wouldn't work here, would it? Because they're going to be different. So I would want the holes specified separately if I asked you for the holes. Good question. But in general, whenever you get answers like x equals 2 and negative 2, I understand what plus or minus means. Yes, you're right. Good job. That's all this one asks for, with the exception of domain. Okay, so we haven't had one like this yet, where we have a vertical asymptote as well as x values where there are holes. So see if you could write the domain for me with that in mind.